we want you to leave your questions and comments at the end of the video.
Especially you, Miss P.
So what I believe feminism is, I believe it's just equality between men and women, and whatever women can do, they can do it as good as a man can do. And then if a man wants to be, like, if they want to be feminine as well, that they're free to act that way if they want to also. So we're just supposed to be treated as humans. That's how I see it as, and that's basically how I feel feminism should be seen, not any of those negative representations other people give feminism as. But yeah.
Feminism is basically just equality. The fact that gender roles exist in our community and our society, feminism fights against that, and that's good because gender roles hold our society back because people feel scared to be who they are, and feminism fights for people to be who they are. And that goes for people who are gay, people who are feminine and masculine, basically androgynous, people who like wearing skirts when they have a penis. Feminism is basically just equality for everyone, and it's really good. What is feminism according to Google? Feminism is the belief that women should be and are treated as equal economically, politically, socially, etc. to men. Who do feminists support? Feminists support the LGBTQ plus community, which stands for lesbians, gay, bisexual, transsexuals, queer, and plus. And plus would be people like asexuals, pansexuals, androgynists, and everyone else. Who do we also support? We also support men! Even if you don't believe it, we support men! Yes. And we support women, obviously. We support people of color, yay! Yay, ethnicity! And we support human beings.
Humans.
Human beings.
Beans.
Human.
And puppies and kittens.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, a lot of people tend to have a lot of misinterpretations of what feminism is. For example, feminazis give a really negative perspective on what feminists are. And for example, that we hate men. We do not hate men. We love men and women the same. We don't bag on them or anything. But
I mean, we do sometimes, but
sometimes,
but not like
that's just everybody. We bag on women. We bag on men. It's just both ways.
We don't hate men. Like the feminist movement isn't against men. It's actually beneficial to men.
Yeah. So. And another thing is that we're lesbians. Feminists are not lesbians. I mean, just because you might think we hate men, which we don't, like we just said, it does not make us lesbian. I mean, we're not lesbian.
I mean, like, feminists may love women, but we don't love women that much.
That way. I mean, women and men are both beautiful. But yeah.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful. Wink, wink. Okay. And another thing is that we can't have sex, which I don't know where people got that idea where just because we're feminists we can't have sex. I mean, everybody does that. But yeah, another thing is that we're against housewives. We're not against housewives. I mean, we just think that both men and women can both be the one running the house, you know, taking care of the children. And both male and female can do that. It's not just based on women. I mean, if women want to do that, then we're cool with that, you know?
You just gotta fight against the standards.
Yes.
Only be a housewife if you really want to. But if you feel like the standards in society are telling you to do that, then no. Stop it. Just stop.
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 Stop. Stop. And another is that they think that we only support white skinny girls, which, no, we don't just support white skinny girls. I mean, we do support them, but it's not just them. We support every everybody's body. We support everybody's like physique, and if you're beautiful, whether you're slim or thick, you're white or colored, it doesn't matter. We just love you because you're living and you're here and you're human and you're beautiful just the way you are. So yeah. And then sexism in our society. Men are taught at a young age that their worth is based on their masculinity and their ability to suppress their feelings. And women are taught at a young age that their worth is based on their appearance and how they can benefit men throughout their lives.
That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to say is just be who you are. Don't make yourself be something you're not just because society doesn't want you that way. You know, just be whatever. If you want to dress up funky, dress up funky. Who cares, you know?
Funky.
Funky. And if you like just be you. Just be who you want to be and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't just forget what other people say.
Yeah.
Just
and
treat yourself.
Okay. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Okay, how does rape correlate with sexism? Well, obviously, since most women in our society, we're all seen as sex objects. Rape correlates with sexism because when someone's being raped, that person who's being raped is seen as an object only used to satisfy. And here's some statistics on rape. 44% of victims are under the age of 18. That's really messed up. Then 98% of rapists will not spend a day in prison or jail. And this has a lot to do with victim blaming, which is really dumb. Mm-hmm. And there was this one case where this girl, she lost the case when she was raped because the, was it defense or prosecution?
I think it was the prosecution.
The prosecution?
Yeah.
Their statement was that the guy couldn't have raped her because her jeans were too tight, so she had to have given him consent because she would have had to help him take her pants off because they were too tight to take off by himself, which is really dumb.
That's stupid.
And then another thing that's victim blaming is saying that the person who was raped deserved it, which no one deserves to be raped at all. That's just, it's
someone's
cruel.
right mind, you know, you can't just say that, like, oh, you deserve to be raped. I mean, like, you're just walking down the street, you know, like, you can't just be like, oh, you deserve to be raped because you're walking down the street, you know, like, it's
or
not...
if you're dressed in, like, a mini skirt, like, or you look really cute or whatever, just because you look, like, hot that day, that doesn't mean you deserve to be, like, forced upon. That's just really dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You can look cute,
Yeah.
be you, and not have to be raped. And then 10% of victims are male. And the thing with males being raped is, in our society, males are seen as they're supposed to like sex and they're supposed to be really strong and protective. So when a male is raped, a lot of times they don't talk about it, right? They don't talk about it because they feel ashamed of themselves because they let that happen to them because they weren't strong enough to fend off the rapist. And then they also feel really guilty about themselves because they didn't enjoy the rape.
Yeah. And also, like, if it's a women rapist raping a man, there's other men that they're like, you got raped by a woman or something. Like, they feel like, oh, since she's a woman and you should have liked it, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, rape in general is wrong, whether it's male or female. So nobody should be taking pride in that at all.
Yeah.
So that's just really wrong for anybody to support that.
Also, rape jokes are not funny at all.
Mm-mm.
They're not funny.
Not.
Like, one of my boyfriend's friends, he was telling me how I should play this video game or whatever.
It was a card game, wasn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
I'm just going to say video game.
Okay.
How I should play this video game or whatever, and if I don't, I'm going to get raped by, like, a bunch of black guys unless I'm into that, and that's just, like, that's so stupid to say that, because rape isn't a funny thing, because it happens every day to a lot of people, and it's very serious, and it's not taken as seriously as it should be.
Yeah. And also, like, what we were saying, that like when women rape men, like a lot of them get away with it also because men don't tend to speak out about it. So the people who the person who raped that other person tends to just take off and just continue on with what they were doing, and so they don't end up being sent into prison at all and being acknowledged for what they did. So they continue doing whatever they're doing because the men think that they just shouldn't say anything because they're just too embarrassed to speak out about what happened to them. So yeah.
Caveman didn't have gender roles. Both men and women went hunting and they got their food.
It wasn't until people started conquering other places is when women were seen as objects.
Caveman.
In the 50s,
Women wanted to keep their jobs after World War II ended because gender roles had slightly been crushed. What do the 50s have to do with the glass ceiling effect? Emily, do you know what the glass ceiling effect means?
the glass ceiling effect is when women were paid lower wages than men.
We are paid lower wages than men. We are making 77 cents to a man's dollar.
Yes.
We're making 77 cents to a man's dollar. Not only are we making less, we're having to pay more for like deodorant.
Listen up, ladies. What would you say if I said that you were being screwed out of $100,000? That's real money. Cold, hard cash. And no, I'm not talking about the pay gap. I'm talking about the money that you lose by shopping in the women's aisle.
Across America, retailers are charging more for products targeted at women than those targeted at men. This gendered pricing, the pink tax, happens in salons, dry cleaners, and most visibly in pharmacies.
The worst part? You probably don't know it's happening.
This is Alex. He's a man.
If we were to go to a pharmacy together and we were to buy products, so what kind of products do you find at a pharmacy?
Condoms,
First one.
Advil,
What kind of deodorant do you buy?
Old Spice.
Okay, so degree, they have like a female one and they have a male one. And so do you think that those are the same price?
Yeah, I'd imagine they're the same price, like per ounce, but I could be wrong.
We each bought 5 personal care items targeted at our gender. Same brands, same sizes, and with the same active ingredients.
I have the bills, the receipts. So the women's razor was $12.49 and the men's razor was $10.99.
No way, $2 difference.
Deodorant for women was $4.99 and for men it was only $3.29.
Wow.
Women's shaving cream was $3.49. Men's shaving cream was $2.89. Wrinkle cream for women was $14.79 and the wrinkle cream for men was $13.99. And when it comes to the body wash, the women's was $5.49 and the men's was $4.99.
Wow, you tally that up, that's like, I don't know, a lot of money.
So in total, I paid $42.69 for my products.
All right, and I paid $37.42. That's a big difference.
Even though the prices were so different, the products seemed to be almost exactly the same. Just to make sure we weren't missing anything, we swapped products for a week.
So I'm Alex, and we have all the female products here in my bathroom.
Oh my God, they're bubbles. Oh my God, they're bubbles. We have Nivea Men. It's supposed to give me energy.
This is feminine. This is amazing.
I'm just gonna pour it on. Can you see it? Oh yeah, that's nice.
It's time to shave. Maybe it's a slightly different design, but it's pretty much the same.
Are you shocked that using these products is essentially the same as using these products?
I mean, I wasn't shocked because we went through the ingredients and they're pretty much exactly the same. I'm just shocked that they're more expensive. So I just think women are kind of getting ripped off.
We are.
Yeah.
So why are women getting screwed?
To get some answers, I sat down with someone who's been fighting gendered pricing for years, trade lawyer Michael Cohn. Michael says that this is a systemic problem. It's products.
When you go into the drugstore, personal hygiene are higher for women.
It's services.
Dry cleaning is often more expensive as a service for women.
And it's actual taxes.
Women's shoes are higher with import taxes, which, by the way, is about $60 million a year more that Uncle Sam collects on women's shoes than on men's shoes, and then that gets passed along.
To fix it, let's start by getting everyone to recognize that this is a real problem. A lot of people say, well, the marketing's different. Like this one has all kinds of special little roses painted on it.
The marketing is certainly not a good excuse. If it's gender-based marketing telling you you need to buy something pink with flowers on it, and that means it's going to be more expensive, that right there is part of the problem.
It's time to take our money back. From now on, when I see this kind of price discrimination, I'm speaking up. And until these companies get the message, I guess I'm gonna smell like a man.
So now we're gonna look at some opposing sides to feminism. Are you ready?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm ready.
We'll have to see.
Okay, so here's one. Being a meninist got me free pizza. What does feminism get you? Oh wait, nothing. Well, feminism gets you equal rights, so you know.
We need to be uplifted. There is no such thing as reverse sexism, and there's no such thing as feminism because men are not oppressed. No.
I feel like the guy is very ignorant, and he's not, like, he wouldn't do anything to at least listen to her for a minute. So, yeah.
I feel like he's the kind of guy that believes in the friend zone. So it says that all the pages are blank in this book about everything men can say to women without offending them. And that's false. Stupid, you know? Because, I mean, just don't act like Apparently, Newton's third law of emotion, for every male action, there's a female overreaction. Well, you know what? Don't act like a emotion. It's not emotion, you dimwit.
Guy I work with showed me a story about how a lady and her friend held a man at gunpoint and raped him. My kind of lady. Stupid! No! That's all I can just... That's really retarded. My kind of lady, you want to be at gunpoint? You stupid
Now I kind of see this is where he thinks, this person who runs this stupid account, this is where they think that it's okay to say the things they say because they think feminism, this is the face
so
of feminism.
freaking hilarious, man.
It's not funny. This isn't feminism, you guys. This is just retarded. So many beeps in this one. Ugly girls are so rude. They just walk around with their face out and no mask on and shit. Just no regard or consideration for people. Are you kidding me?
Why do you need freaking makeup to be accepted by society?
You should just be yourself.
Exactly.
This is stupid. This is making me mad. Kylie finally admits her lips are fake. Time for you hoes to admit to being hoes. That was stupid.
That was very dumb, and as a, like, it's just, I wouldn't do that on my free time. If you like getting aggravated and angry and like thrashing your hands around and wanting to break your computer, go ahead and do that, but
that
no,
was so
really
stupid.
stupid. Don't.
See, we did this for a project. Miss P, we deserve an A for this, for having to look at
Yeah.
We deserve an A.
A+.
I'm very angry right now. I think we need like a break.
We need a break. Taco break.
5-minute intermission.
Mm-hmm.
1 eternity later.
Coming back at you with gender roles! Emily, what's your gender role?
I'm a male.
Not a female! Like,
And I like my mustache.
okay.
I like wrestling too. I like wrestling and beating up people because I'm so masculine.
So, I'm a girl. I like pink, and I'm a princess.
Hey, babe. So when are we going out tonight?
My name's not Babe.
Babe, we're meant to be.
I met you yesterday.
That's why I was gonna take you out for popcorn
You're not supposed to be laughing. I'm sorry. I really want to take you out on this date, and it's really important to me because I want to show you these muscles.
This is so sad.
Look at this. You need to see how good of a guy I am.
You're a good guy?
I'm a good guy.
What
Really
if I
good.
don't want to be with you?
Well then, forget you. Friend zone, I guess. I mean, not like that's gonna hurt me or anything. It's just that you don't understand. You made it seem like you were leading me on the whole time. I mean, I thought we had something. And then you go ahead and say we're in the friend zone. Like, I don't want to just be friends with you. I want more. I want your intimate action, you know? And I expected us to be more since you seem like you wanted more. And I guess it's not. So I guess just because we're in the friend zone, I just can't talk to you anymore.
What made me show you that I wanted to do that stuff?
Because you seem so interested in me. And I thought we had something just by you wanting to talk to me even more.
I added your Facebook request yesterday. That's about it.
Well, it meant a lot to me. It seemed like you wanted to talk to me even more. Does that not mean anything to you? I mean, to me it seems like it's something. So I just said, if you don't want anything from me, then I can just leave out of your life and we'll never be.
Okay. Hey guys, lesson on the friend zone. It doesn't exist. The friend zone is basically when a guy expects you to go on a date with him or have sex with him just because he was nice to you. Girls do this too sometimes, but anyways, that's stupid. You know why it's stupid? Because you should be nice to her anyways, because women are human beings. So there's no reason you should get mad just because you wasted your time being nice because she didn't suck your dick. Also, what's wrong with being their friend? Friends are awesome. Like, having another friend, like, yeah, that's really cool, right?
No. Yeah?
What are you doing?
I wanted to try on your dress.
That's my dress.
Yeah, but I kind of like the flow in them, so I kind of wanted to try it on.
What, are you gay or something?
No. I just really like how it looks. I mean, look at it.
Yeah, that's why I
Nice.
bought it, for me.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with me trying it on for a day.
Yeah, there is. You're a guy. You can't wear dresses.
Doesn't mean anything, though.
Yes, it does. I just said since you're a guy, you can't wear that.
She just want it back.
Well, no shit.
Wait, hold up. This is not for girls.
It's
This
just
is-
a flannel.
No, it's men's clothing. It's for guys. Guys. Mustache and...
Well, I have some muscle too.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to my muscle.
What if I just like the flannel?
Well, if in case you haven't noticed, that was in the men's section. It's for men, not women.
What if I like dressing like a guy?
Well then, what are you? Are you trying to hit on girls now? Are you lesbian?
No, I like guys.
Then you just can't wear that. I'm sorry.
But I want to wear it.
You just can't. I mean, you look like a dude now. You're a woman. You're supposed to look like a woman.
And what's that supposed to look like?
Pretty in makeup and dressing with your skirts and little dresses. That's what a girl's supposed to dress up like.
So you don't think I'm pretty in my flannel?
No, you're supposed to look like a girl. Are you trying to be funny?
No.
You have to put that back in the men's section. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No guy's gonna ever want to go out with a girl that looks like a guy.
Alright.
So, as you've seen in the other video, there is a split between male and female clothing, and we feel that as feminists that we support that men and women should be able to dress however they want. Women should be able to dress if they want to dress up like a guy. It doesn't make him anything. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Do you want to start over?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just do. Okay. Okay. What was it you said? The feminists fight for gender roles.
No. Okay. Feminists fight against gender roles. The fact that clothing is gendered is kind of weird. I mean, a guy can wear a dress and it shouldn't be a big deal, but that's what gender roles specify.
And women they could wear guy clothing if they want to.
And then another thing is that tomboys, as in like when a girl acts like a tomboy, the reason it's not so punished is because she's acting like a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when a guy dresses like a girl, he's heavily punished by society because he's acting feminine. And
they might call him gay, or they might call him like a faggot
or queer.
But
that's just because they're being mean to him, because basically being feminine in our society is bad. So that's why you see girls dressing like tomboys, and they get kind of sometimes they get
negative remarks
from their peers, but then it's mostly guys who act feminine.
Mm-hmm. And they're the ones that usually get more negative activity towards them, because one, it's just like society makes men seem more like the masculine, but if they want to, I mean, maybe they're asexual, you know? They have no...
You mean androgynous?
Androgynous, yes. Or asexual too, because they probably don't like men or women.
Asexual is I guess.
Yeah, or how do you say that?
Androgyny. To be an androgynous means that you're both feminine and masculine.
Yeah, so that means that like you could go both ways, and we're fighting that in clothing stores there shouldn't be sections anymore. It should just be one whole
section.
Clothing, yeah, where it can be both men and women if they want to go either way. There shouldn't be any split in between. So then both female and male can just choose what they want to wear and be who they want to be. So there shouldn't be that.
So yeah, feminists fight against those gender roles, and the reason that these gender roles are holding us back in society is because men and women both alike are trying so hard to fight, or not to fight, to be these standards. Mm-hmm. So girls are trying really hard to be like that perfect woman, and basically with the girl standards, it has to do with the way we look. So a lot of women are trying really hard to look like that perfect girl that you see that's basically not even real.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, they have a character they have to play. It's not really how they look. Sometimes it is. But a lot of times it's their characteristic. But the way they would look, they would just be like really buff and stuff and have like a really cool jawline. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, the standard for men is their characteristics. Like, they have to be really like the men. They have to be like
the top of the, house.
The top of the house?
The top of the house, yeah.
They have to be like strong and protective. And, they can't be gay at all. They have to be like totally like masculine. They can't pet their dog and kiss him on the head or something. They can't smell flowers. So what does all this have to do with feminism?
All this has to do with feminism because there should not be a split definition between men and women. We should just be known as a whole instead of us people arguing and trying to figure out, where do men and women belong in society. Instead, we should just be like, you know what?
We're human beings in general. We're all human beings, so we should all be respected in the same way and treated in the same way. Mm-hmm. And not as many things and products that are gendered, they should not be, because honestly, like boy and girl deodorant, I mean, I don't see why that should be gendered. I mean, you just want your pits to smell nice.
Exactly. And also clothing.
Yeah, that too.
You shouldn't be struggling deciding for like an hour which side you should be choosing from. I mean, just choose whatever you want,
You be you.
Yeah.
That's what feminism is all about.
That's basically what feminism is about. I mean, don't get all these negative remarks and stuff. I mean, it's just that simple, So.
Yeah, feminism is about equality, and it's for people being who they want to be. High five me.
Woo.
Yeah.
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 Hours. This is our first break. How you feeling, Emily? I'm like death right now. I don't even know how we're gonna do tomorrow. I'm so tired.
Exactly 60.
Almost midnight, and we have about 60 stickers, and then we still have these ones that still need to be colored,
And then these ones.
and then those ones.
Yeah.
It's time to sleep. It's 12:30. How many stickers have we made?
70. More than 70, I think.
Are we ready for tomorrow?
Yes.
Ooh, Kiki looks creepy. Okay.
Yes. We're gonna interview some people. I feel like, should we make index cards? Because I feel like we're gonna forget what we're gonna ask. I have index cards.
I guess, or write it on her hand or something.
Or like Mulan, put it on her
Yeah.
ear.
What do you think, Kiki?
Go!
Oh my god, I look creepy.
10:30, and we've only had 2 people come up to talk to us.
No.
This is for a project. This is inappropriate for school.
Very.
This is a project, so we have to.
I did.
Yeah, just eat it with them.
So what just happened, Emily?
The security guy just told us to not give out flyers anymore. Flyers. Yeah.
We got kicked out of the farmer's market.
Not really.
So today
Well, they asked us politely, so that was good.
We have consent.
Yeah.
They were like, I condemn thee. They weren't doing that.
So we can't succeed today
It was.
because we can't do nothing now.
But we can succeed tomorrow
We can-
somewhere else.
Exactly.
Tomorrow.
Nowhere.
It was just a statement. It was just a statement. So what did you think of the people who we talked to? Some of the people.
Well, Josiah got most of the talking. We just have like a few little people.
How was that talk with that one guy?
It's pretty cool.
What do you guys talk about?
We're talking about how he was married 5 times and he took care of a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
So he thinks that gays don't like work hard enough for the rights.
Uh-huh.
I tell him they do, but again, he works hard for his rights too.
Yeah. What do you think?
I got ignored a lot. I gave out 1 flyer.
You gave out one
I
flyer?
gave out 1 flyer. Only person I wanted a flyer.
So there was this lady who was talking to us, and it was really interesting because she was like one of the first people to talk to us. She came up to us and she was reading our signs or whatever, and then she started talking about how she knew exactly about sexism and stuff like that because she was one of the first women to have Air Force training, and she was really cool. She was like one of the only cool people who talked to us though.
Okay, so we went up to some 2 random girls at a vending spot, and they decided to give us their own perspective on feminism.
It's actually pretty neat. Like, we didn't get any perspective before, only just from 2 people. These people actually had like a full-on conversation.
For a long time, and they went like she started telling us her experience, how
just because her appearance, the way she looked when she was going to college, like for her SAT scores, like once the teacher, before she saw the SAT scores, she was kind of like looking down at her.
She was skeptical about it.
Yeah, and then she
Just
saw.
based on her look.
Yeah, just by the way she looked. And then when she saw the SAT scores, like she started liking her more, you know. And then they were friends basically. Like she would end up talking to her, like, oh hey, how's your day and stuff like that. But then before, like she would completely not acknowledge her at all.
So it's an example of bias.
Yeah.
It's like appearance bias, and then all of a sudden she sees how smart she is. She's like, oh, okay, I want to be your friend now.
Yeah, and then the other girl, she was saying how both her moms are actually, she has two moms, and she was saying how she was very like open with her as her daughter.
Practically raised her own siblings.
Yeah.
Going through so many marriages from her parents, you know.
And I guess the lesbian partnership made her more open too. So I was just like,
Okay, hold this and stickers. And then we got our sticker on the one-way sign. Yeah. Yay! Oh, there's a person's face. Okay. Go!
Feminism, in my eyes, is basically like, females being treated equally as males. No matter what happens, males are always like, everybody knows that males have always been paid more, whatever, like for their jobs and anything, but feminism is actually about being equal to males no matter what happens, you know? Feminism will never be like that whole, like taking it all like too much.
There's a
like,
lot that just like
oh, feminism is all like, let's not shave our legs, let's not
and the
shave
other half,
nothing like that. Feminism is actually about being equal.
Feminism.
Never
I was raised by women,
being let
so,
down
like,
by guys. It's always about
I
having
didn't have a
equal
dad.
rights.
I was raised by women.
Having
I love chicks.
It's
and I love
never,
feminism and all of that noise. Like,
Women are amazing.
no, women are fucking empowering. I didn't have a dad. Raised by a mom. Single parent. Taught me how to respect women and love them, and taught me how to talk to girls too. It's one of those. It's the double trouble. It's great. It's the double
It's like
trouble.
a 2-in-1. It's 2-in-1.
The heavy package.
yeah.
So definitely.
It's never about guys can do more than girls. It's never about that. We're all about girls can do the same thing as boys can do. We can, be business women. We can do whatever it comes to, whatever it comes down to. That's what we do. There's no gender barriers, nothing like that.
It's just a response to like really shitty feminism.
What can I say? I just don't know. Like I feel like lately in this modern community we're in, modern society, it's always been about, oh, we're feminists, like let's go on Twitter, let's not shave our armpits, like let's just be like crazy about it. Like no, it's never about that. Feminism is about we're all equal no matter what. It's always about like we can do whatever it takes to just be the same as men. It's never about like
a pretty bad thing. No,
I'm sorry, but it's like I just find it ridiculous how feminists have been about okay, like let's just like not shave our armpits, like let's not shave our pubes, like it's not about that. It's about being equal.
And it's still obviously
it's about we can do the same thing that men can do. You know,
everything. But at the same time,
if you put me to a spot, it's just kind of sad because I can't explain exactly what feminism is. But we should not be marked as anything lower than men because at the same time,
she quoted one of like the early.
I'm trying to like put all my thoughts together right now. You know,
she was
kind of like we're just human. You know, we do what we want. Women and men do what they want.
Right. Exactly. So
she's made some like super heavy. Like,
women and men can do the exact same thing.
Heavy, like, she quoted,
We're not any different from men at
like,
all. We're all human. At the end of the day, men and women are human. We can just do the same thing as men can do.
They're still trying to get their equal rights and everything.
There's nothing.
And a lot of these women from
there's
back
nothing
then
different
were
between
still
women and men at all.
Being black.
So at the end of the day,
and dumping on them, which is disgusting. but
what can I say? Like,
she quoted a lot of them, and
a
like,
woman
you know,
can
it's
be
just
as
like a heavy
smart as a
white,
man.
it's
A
still
woman
white.
can be
No matter,
as
like, you know, even Obama, he's
strong
the
as a man. You know, so at the, everything just bottles down to just being
the heaviest black guy you've ever
as
seen.
equal
White black
as
I've ever
a
seen.
man can be. You know, so it's just.
He
How
did
can I-
good
how
or
can I
whatever.
put
He
this
has
into
made
words? Like, I'm
improvements,
just
but
trying
at
to
the same
fucking
time,
put this into words right now. I'm sorry.
puppet government, dude.
But
It sounds so fucking conspiracy theorist, but like that's what it is, dude. No
woman
matter
can
if
do
you
what I
are a
meant.
Democrat or Republican,
at the end of the day, knowledge is not due to female or male. Knowledge is due
but I do believe in
to what you,
life out here and
the
everything.
train of
and
thought
like,
that you have in your brain. You
I don't
know.
know. It's kind of weird. Like I fucking feel
No
weird
matter
saying that
what
in front of people
goes
or
on,
whatever,
no
but
matter what
come on, there's no way that our
happens,
fucking asses
male
are
or
progressing
female,
like this, and there's no
it's
other
always about how
no
you
other
react to a problem.
planet that's ever progressed
You know?
to where we are, or even further to have travel.
Like this whole
You know, they
Hillary
came out with a
Clinton thing,
warp
like
drive
running for
on accident
president
the
and
other day?
everything.
On accident.
My train of thought on
NASA.
it is like a lot of people are against it.
We have a
But
new rocket. We have
a lot of
new.
people are always
oh my
against,
God.
like, okay, just
I,
because
honestly,
she's
I'm
a
a super
female, like,
sci-fi
nobody
guy, so I'm
should,
super
like,
stoked on this
vote
right
for
now.
her. Like, everybody should just
We
think about what's going
came
on
up with a
and
new way of
everything.
propulsion.
But at the
Has
end of
no
the day,
gas, and it has to do
it's
with
like,
the.
what does she have to offer us, you
And
know?
it's not light waves.
Yeah. So,
Something else, whatever. Our new, yeah, dude, definitely look it up. It's fucking incredible. Like, you know, this day and age right now.
Stop it right now.
Thank you. We're gonna colonize.
I'm sorry, I
We're
was
gonna
probably
colonize
no
soon.
help, but
No, it was really good. It was
They
good.
just came out with a new fucking.
it was probably no help at all.
I wanted to say thank you for letting us interview you, Ms. Castillo, because I honestly didn't think you were going to say yes. So, yeah.
You started already?
Yeah, I already started it.
Okay, well, we're interviewing Ms. Castillo on feminism and what she thinks about feminism. So, what do you think about feminism in general?
Well, I have mixed feelings about feminism. I like the idea of equal opportunity for others. I'm very frustrated by sometimes what I see as unfairness, like if you apparently cheat on a test in Atlanta, you get 7 years in prison for that. But if you murder your wife, you may get time served and no other time. So that kind of injustice, I think, is really outrageous. On the other hand, I've never been like a member of a feminist organization, nor do I believe in everything that they believe in. For example, they are very much into, I'm not sure the way they word it, but they want freedom of choice, and I wouldn't be a supporter of abortion or something like that. So I'm not an all-out feminist, but certainly equality is something I believe in.
Okay, and how do you feel about the employment with women?
Well, as I've said in class before, the the amount of pay that a woman gets compared to a man has been equalized in some way. For example, it used to be 75 cents to every dollar a man made, and today it's 84, at least in California, cents to every dollar a man makes. So that's an improvement. And certainly there are interviews where you see women are head of corporations and stuff like that, which is a big improvement. However, only 10% of California corporations have CEOs or women, and they are more than 10% of the population. And yes, they're not 12% of Congress, they're up to 20% of Congress, but again, they're more than 50% of the population. On the other hand, there are issues with women, as I've also mentioned, like the fact that, you know, their bodies only can have, well, first, their eggs are like born with them, and the older they get, the older the eggs get, so they have to have children relatively young. And, you know, if you want to have children, it's very hard to do both. In some ways, we've had an improvement in opportunities for women, but right now what they're trying to do is two different jobs. They're trying to be mothers, and they're trying to be traditional housewives, and at the same time they're trying to, you know, have a job of some type. And so I think it's like really kind of put a burden on women to try to do everything, which has not been easy as well. So some improvements, but still, you know, totally female-dominated jobs still are paid less than the ones that are dominated by males. Things are getting better, but whether or not they'll ever be totally equal based just on the biology of the two sexes, it's kind of hard to know.
Do you think that probably in the future that'll improve, that women will soon get paid as much as
I think, when I was younger, Catholics were a kind of a somewhat, not quite discriminated against, but somewhat discriminated against minority. And when John Kennedy was elected president, it was like the next day it completely changed in terms of acceptance. Not that there isn't some prejudice, but it's pretty mild these days. And I think when the first woman becomes president, I think it'll make a major difference in terms of the way we view women. Already, as I say, when they interview people on television, very often the person who goes out to speak, the head of the company, actually is a female. And as they move into more positions, I think they'll be understood to be able to do more things. So I think it will improve. On the other hand, if you look at the rest of the world, things are pretty terrible, just in terms of, you know, women being killed because they want to go to school or something minor like that, women not being able to choose the husband they're going to marry, very often being married to someone who's like way older than they are and stuff like that. In a lot of ways, women are kind of slaves in a lot of parts of the world. So when you say, will it get better, for American women, I'm sure. For other women, I'm not so sure at all.
Have you ever had any negative impressions on feminists and feminists in general, like women that campaign?
I don't view them negatively, no. I wasn't always like a big supporter. So like, for example, back, I mean, this is probably like one incident, but back in the 60s or whatever, when they were burning their bras, it wasn't like that inspired me. It was kind of like they were kind of goofy, you know. Again, that was like probably like one incident. It wasn't a big deal. And then, as I said, I don't necessarily agree on the issue of, what is the word? I can't remember how they phrase it, but you're right to make a decision about what you do with your reproductive organs, put it that way. I'm not 100% in favor of everything they would state.
Do you think that men can be feminists also?
Actually, men have been feminists and will continue to be. So, for example, at the first Women's Rights Convention at Seneca Falls, half of the people that signed were men. So not all men are pigs, you know, some of them are very supportive of women. And also, you know, they're fathers of women and everything else. So yeah, they definitely can be.
Do you believe that feminism creates barriers between women and men?
I think it can. I think it's in some ways kind of threatening, you know, to have a woman who's trying to go for the same job you're going for or something. Although men seem to be doing better than women, so they can't be too threatened. But, you know, whenever times are hard, there tends to be a lot more friction between the sexes. So if you look at the amount of domestic violence during downturns in the economy, you'll find it goes completely up. And it may just be that women are like easier targets or something, but you know, they can be victims of men, especially when they're having a struggle themselves. They don't want to see the competition. After the Second World War, there was tremendous pressure to get women to get out of the workforce because men wanted their jobs back. And I don't think they were overly understanding of the fact that women may have their own, you know, ideas about what they want to do.
How about as a teacher, have you ever felt that you were ever discriminated as a woman, like by your students, like since you're a female teacher? No, other than most students have the idea that everyone on earth must be married, and if you don't fit that mold, there is a certain amount of, I don't know, disrespect, It's like, especially when I was overseas, it's like the only life a woman has is having children, and the idea that you wouldn't necessarily want to have children is just too shocking to even understand. They just really couldn't comprehend that at all.
I have a question. Does it ever bother you that you don't really, like, since you're not married, does it ever bother you that you don't really fit into that category, like, because we're expected to marry and have children, like, later on in life? Do you ever feel, like, pressured because you're not? No, not by anybody else, but by my students, It's like they can't understand anyone not wanting to have children. And it was a lot worse overseas, because absolutely that was the goal of every woman, was to have children. And so the idea that you wouldn't want children is just, they just can't understand that. You know, they couldn't wait to have them. So. But you're like confident in yourself, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I never myself missed the idea of not having children. Again, I had brothers and sisters, and I took care of them growing up, so it's almost like I already had my kids. I don't want another set of them.
So do you think there's a difference between feminist and egalitarian? Or do you think
I don't know the answer to that, because the negative view of feminism is, that they're more radical and more unreasonable, sort of. Whereas when you say egalitarian, that sounds extremely reasonable to want to have the same opportunities as everyone else. But I think feminism, sometimes it comes with a a connotation of, you know, these loud, aggressive women that, you know, don't like men. You know, and I'm saying that's necessarily what those women are. But I think when you put it that way, egalitarian, I think no one would like, or maybe no one would say that a person who was egalitarian was in some way weird or something. But there are some negative stereotypes that are associated with the feminist movement that you don't get when you say the word egalitarian.
Like feminists, they immediately think like men haters, and egalitarian, they're more like equality. Do you have any other questions?
Have you ever heard of the pink cost or the pink tax?
Sorry, no.
No? I saw a video on it the other day, and it was this experiment kind of, where this woman, she went to like a normal like convenience store to buy these products by the same brands, but they're categorized by gender, like deodorant.
Right.
And it happened to be that all the feminine products they cost more. And they're basically the exact same thing, but they cost more.
Recently, I was listening to an NPR program, this National Public Radio program, that was talking about fixing your car. And this woman and her, 6 foot, 200-pound boyfriend went separately to like 8 or something auto dealers. Auto repairmen, sorry. And said, what can I do about this problem in the car? And what the problem actually is that the alternator wiring was not correctly attached to it. So it was kind of loose and periodically it'd act up. And he would constantly, like through all 8 of them virtually, get that comment that, you've got a loose alternator wire, we'll fix it for you, right? And she consistently was told your transmission needs to be replaced and your alternator, and your water pump. And then they charge her like $700 for a water pump. It's like, good grief, So it was clear that if you were a female, especially a young one, you were going to be totally ripped off. So yeah, I think there are definitely price differences. And also, I tell you one thing that gripes me to no end is how many pairs of pants have you ever bought that have no pockets? So I'm a teacher at school. I can't leave things around. I can't leave my keys out. And there's no place to put it, So, half the time I can't find it later or whatever, or it gets stolen or something. And it's like we don't have pockets, They would never give a man a pair of pants without a pocket. That's crazy, And yet for females, I don't know why they seem to think we don't need pockets, which is, anyway, very irritating to me.
Yeah. And how do you think rape correlates with sexism?
I think definitely that, people who have less respect for women, they want what they want, and they're not particularly interested in what a female wants. Generally, rape is actually wanting to hurt someone else, and I think men are just physically a lot stronger than women are, and they can just take what they want, and sometimes they do, and I think they don't care about, how personal that is, to have your body assaulted, and anyway, I think it does show a lack of respect, and very often it's because a male really wants sex, and in today's world, it's very much understood that it is going to happen, and so when someone says no, I think that they just think, well, I'm going to do it because I can, and I think they do.
Or it's because they probably think that the woman is weaker, so they feel like
they are. But usually, physically, it'd be pretty unusual a woman that could actually fight off a man, I would think. I mean, some of them do, but I would think they wouldn't be very prevalent in most cases.
Do you have any other questions?
I have an answer that you didn't ask me, and that was, have you ever felt discrimination because you're a woman? And the answer is yes. When I was about 12 or 13 years old, I really, really wanted to be an altar boy, okay? And so they, said the time that we could go and show up and be an altar boy, and yeah, I was the only girl there. But it never occurred to me I wasn't going to be one, and they said, no, you can't be one, that's only for boys. And I went, what, And I remember just being shocked that that was true, and it's funny, how could I not notice that they were all boys, but I never did. I just really couldn't wait to do that when I got to be of age, and then I was told, no, you couldn't do it. That was like really an eye-opener for me, because I hadn't expected it. It was something like, yeah, you're right, they are all boys, And actually, when I was growing up, McDonald's only took male.
Really?
Everybody at McDonald's was male, all the workers and all that. Not that I ever wanted to work at McDonald's, but it's kind of interesting. I was there the other day. It's like, whoa, almost everybody here is female. But at one time, they were all male workers that they hired,
How about have you ever been a victim of sexism?
I really can't think of an incident, to tell you the truth. Again, I'm a teacher, and so this is a profession where they have, especially high school, there are males and females. We have to be paid the same because there are laws to you know, guarantee that. I can't really think of an incident where that did affect me. Again, if I was trying to be the head of a corporation, I'm sure there would be, you know, major glass ceilings, but I don't think in the teaching profession there are.
I have a question. And ever in your life, have you ever been catcalled?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Like a lot?
I thought it was kind of funny.
You thought it was funny?
Yeah, that was, you know, that's not, especially, no offense, if you go through an ethnic neighborhood, you know, they do it. I mean, it is kind of amusing. They go out of their way to be, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they think it's charming, and in a way it is kind of cute, but no, I never felt threatened by it. It was like, you know, in daytime, and, you know, it was just sort of, okay, guys.
Do you feel like not just catcalling, but just sexism in general, do you think it's gotten more violent over the years, or do you think it's the same?
I think I was a type that was pretty careful, so I think I never got into situations like that. And that's not to say it's the female's fault. I'm just saying that, you know, I don't think I have ever had an opportunity that I had to worry about that. But members of my family have actually been raped and have been date raped, so it certainly happens, and you don't have to invite it. But I think just having to do with my personality or something, thank goodness I was never in a situation where I had to, you know, like I was afraid that it was going to happen or something like that.
And what do you think about the dress code at school, like the difference between the female and male dress code?
I guess the only thing I noticed is that when we went through the period, which seems to be pretty over, where the guys used to like wear pants that like fell off them like the gangster look, I just thought that was incredibly stupid. And once in a while I see a female that really is too exposed, and I usually will tell her about it. But to tell you the truth, I usually don't really notice what people are dressing, unless you look unusually nice. Then I'll go, wow, you know, you should wear that to an interview. But most of it, I actually am not like shocked or mortified or whatever by people's attire. They actually don't look too bad, to tell you the truth. Because I was taught at schools in the past that were parochial schools, and you had to like kneel on the floor, and your leg had, I mean your dress or whatever had to reach a certain level and stuff. And we don't do anything like that. It's like, unless you go naked, we're not going to bother you. And actually, I'm kind of surprised that most people, in my opinion, don't overdo it at all. You know, I think they actually dress pretty nicely, considering that we're not really real strict about what they wear.
I think that's good. Thank you, Ms. Castillo.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
Okay.
No! Why do we love Obama?
Okay, let's try this again. I'm a female. I love the color pink and...
Hey, babe.
What?
What?
And... Damn it.